Welcome to the Site-65 podcast. I'm your host, Robert Tomato Peterson, and with me, we have my old friend Keegan.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, Keegan. How are you?
Um, I'm doing okay.
Pretty good. So it's been a few weeks since the last episode. Took some time off, got some stuff sorted out. It's just me and Keegan this week. Couldn't get a lot of people to host, but that's okay. So we're just gonna do a classic me and Keegan episode, like episode 5, and I think episode 4 was like that too.
Hell
But
yeah.
Yeah. So, big news. I have retired from executive researcher after all
End of
these
an era.
years. End of an era, indeed. It was a long time coming. I just felt like I couldn't give all I could to the research department anymore. And it felt like it was just like my time to go. Like I looked up and realized I didn't recognize half the faces in the department and was like, okay, at this point, I feel like I've done everything I could. Um, Especially for the last like year when all I've done is just like 682 tests and stuff like that. So to end things off, I did one final 682 extravaganza test, and it actually resulted in something I never thought I would get to do, but I'll get to that later. Um, so I went down to 682cc. He was very unhappy to see me. And I explained to him, I said, hey, 682, listen, I'm retiring. And 682 paused and he went, why? And I went, well, I've done all I can do and stuff like that. And I was like, I want to shake your hand, 682. You've been a worthy adversary. And so 682 stood there. He's like, normally I don't like you humans. However, you have made these last years interesting. Therefore, I will oblige by your wishes. So I shook his paw, and I said, hey, 682, you want to have a dance party? And 682 was like, uh, sure. So we set up tables, had pizza, sodas, um, and we invited people down to this chamber, and we had a dance party.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was lovely. 682 just kind of stood there awkwardly as people danced around him. I asked him very politely not to eat people, and he was very kind about doing so. However, he did try to take a nibble out of an MTF's arm when he got too close. So,
Oh yeah.
fair enough. 682 did like the pizza. We had the infinite pizza box there.
What
999
was his
came to
favorite type of
visit.
pizza?
Pepperoni.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See that.
So we all danced around, had a good time, and then I got news over comms. Mr. Peterson, report to floor 2. Sorry, floor 3. And I went, here we go. So went up to floor 3, went to talk to the O5 because they had a request of me. And at first I thought, okay, I'm screwed. I'm about to get shot in the back of the head. This is it. And they said, we know you've been wanting to do this for a long time, and since it's your last day, last day as executive, we have unanimously, and someone piped up from the back and tried to say, actually, and they shut him down really quickly, and they grumbled and said, unanimously decided to allow you to take 682 on a walk. So I got to take 682 on a walk around HGZ.
You finally got to do it.
Yes, after all this time. It
Sad I
was
couldn't be there.
lovely.
It's sad I couldn't really be there for that. Everything going on.
Yeah, it was kind of spur of the moment. I'd been thinking about leaving for a while, but it was one of those things that I just kept kind of putting off and was like, nah, I'm more of a detriment to the department than I am actually, doing stuff. So it was just time to go.
Yeah. I I feel that in a way. Seeing new faces, old faces. Like I've seen a lot of old faces go. You remember Von Braun?
Yep.
I remember that guy. He was pretty cool. I always mention Moncher, but really, there was a lot of other people. What was that one guy's name? It was like we had a bunch of leaders with us, and for for them because I'm a bit of an artsy type. I drew a little thing for them in like the gorilla style,
Yeah.
and yeah, I miss them a lot. I don't know whether they're gone or I'd have to catch up with them. Send them like a quick
Yeah.
email. I don't know who's dead, alive, but when you're in here, like in the foundation, a death really loses its meaning.
It does.
It loses its punch too. You start to lose meaning when you're here. What is real? What is fake? But you know what isn't fake? The friends we made along the way, the people we met, people,
Exactly.
the people we talked to. Even if they're dead, even if they're gone, that memory is still there.
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly, Keegan. I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Honestly, some of the best times I've had over the last couple of years have been working in the foundation.
Oh yeah.
It's just been a ton of fun, and I wouldn't imagine doing anything else with my time. Hell, this podcast is just because of the foundation. And we're almost at a year of podcasts. In about 3 months, it'll be 1 year of podcasts.
Oh yeah.
So we'll have
I've
to figure out something to do in August about that. But
personally, I've never really had the best experience within the foundation. I'll make that, yeah, I'll always vocalize that and it's you know true to everyone that we've seen a lot of people die. That's really
yeah.
not fun, and it just because I don't want to be overly negative because the foundation has given me a lot of opportunities to work with things that I never thought I'd work with.
Hmm.
To understand the impossible is a gift.
I agree. So, uh, let's see. Enough sappy shit. Let's get on to some fun stories from the news from this week. So, for those of you who don't know, we have a recurring segment on this podcast where we talk about news stories from around the site. These stories are taken from the daily news pamphlets and just stories that are told throughout the site, even on the UK site and the US site. So, speaking of 682, we'll start with him. 682 held a bake sale.
You have been the
Uh,
only one to get 682 to do
I
so
didn't
many
get him to do
things. You
anything. We
you
can't.
what?
I wasn't even on site for this.
The
Apparently,
fuck?
people were going through his uh. I don't know entirely know how it happened, but 682 got. I think a chef gave it to him. 682 got hold of a miniature oven and some baking supplies, and MTF came in because they smelled something burning, and they're like, "What the hell is going on?" It was 682 making brownies. So 682 is just like, yeah, I need a hobby. So I'm gonna make food. And we were just like, okay.
I think he'd
So
like hobbies.
yeah, I was kind of shocked too. I didn't expect 682 to want to do anything except kill people. Um, so he baked a bunch of brownies and cookies. We gave him a day just to kind of see what he could do, because to be honest, they were kind of curious about what he can make, and he made what he called rage brownies and destruction donuts.
Hmm.
Um, and then he just gave them away to the foundation. He seemed kind of timid. He's like, "Are they good? Are they bad? Trying something new here." And people seem to like them. We still have some in the fridge.
It's nice.
Um, yeah. So let's see. Other than that, we had a karaoke night a few nights ago, and 939 showed up to it.
Hmm.
Yeah, not entirely sure how 939 managed to get there, but he kind of it insisted on being up on stage, and we were all quiet in the crowd during it because we didn't want to scare it. However,
Um.
someone put on Thriller by Michael Jackson, and it just bellowed out Thriller.
Hmm. That
Yeah,
must have been pretty
kind
funny.
of. Yeah, we were kind of surprised that it knew the lyrics to it, but it was mostly a lot of yelling, kind of like screamo and stuff like that.
Oh
But
yeah.
939 did a decent job, and then it was promptly recontained. The thing about it is that we didn't know it was breached because no sensors went off to determine that it was breached. It just kind of appeared there.
Hmm.
Yeah. Let's see what else happened. Oh, uh, 076-2. We originally did a test with 682 076-2 a few weeks ago where he held a yoga class. However, he ended up being too intense with his yoga and ended up butchering a bunch of people when they couldn't keep up, so we had to recontain him.
God damn it.
So somehow they were like, let's do this again, but let's have them play dodgeball. So we went to the lunchroom, moved all the chairs and stuff against the wall, set up a line on the floor, put a bunch of dodgeballs down, and we had 5 people on 076-2's side and 6 people on the other side. So it was 6v6.
Hmm.
Abel decimated people with dodgeballs. He was knocking
Oh.
people's like heads off, like literally. Not very fun. So after the second head got butchered off, we had to kind of recontain him.
Oh, that is yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they thought that would be a good idea. Um, it was the CCTV footage of it. I said that wrong. The whatever the footage
Yeah.
of it from the security cameras is available for upon request. However, all it shows is that 076 just violently throws dodgeballs at people and then their heads come off. So yeah.
That is ugh.
We had an 079 breach.
Mm.
079 uh, basically somehow got into. So, for those of you who don't know, the foundation has a tech support hotline that people can contact when their computers don't work and they can't log in and blah blah blah. So 079 somehow got into that. We're not entirely sure how. And mimicked the voice of the lady who typically answers the phone. And he just gave really bad advice that caused a lot of computers to brick. He told a janitor when he couldn't log into his laptop to delete System 32. And yeah, he did.
God damn.
Yeah.
Why
Honestly,
would
it
you
kind
do
of
that though? Like,
look, I don't know, the janitors aren't the brightest here. So it was one of those things where like I think they just went with it and no one really knew what was going on until like an '05 called because he couldn't get into like his computer. And he's like, wait a minute, you're not the lady who typically answers the phone. And then after doing a bit of sleuthing, they discovered that someone had accidentally plugged a phone cable into 079
God.
and he got in that way. Thankfully, he didn't get out into, as far as we know, he didn't get out into like the world and like start infecting things.
Yeah. I'll never forget my favorite experiment with 079 actually is I plugged up a Game Boy to him so he could
I
play.
remember this.
That was
That was the
cool.
title of one of the episodes of the podcast.
Oh yeah, when I did yeah. It was cool because he actually attempted to hack in. I never got any information back on like because I sent it into the site inspectors on for for inspection of his code and they never got back to me on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't really know anything else that happened with it. So I think it's a top secret type deal. Not my clearance. Yeah, they were kind of upset with me when I told them there was bits of the code in the Game Boy and they immediately confiscated it.
I mean, I get it. At the
Oh yeah,
same time, like,
because his we don't know what's going on with him. So plus they were more afraid of him just like escaping the Game Boy into other things and making other 079s, which would
yeah,
be terrifying actually. Yeesh. Could you imagine multiple 079s? Hey, at least 682 could have multiple buddies. So
yeah.
that's the one good thing to come out of it.
I do. I do think at some point I want to give. I want to give because. Do you know the game Tetris?
Yeah.
Obviously, you do because you played video games at some point. There was a recent thing on the news where some kid beat Tetris for like the first time ever. Like
Oh.
actually got it to like crash and game over because like you're not it's supposed to go so fast that no human is able to keep up with it, but the kid was able to.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah. It was all over the news and stuff like that. I want to give 079 Tetris and see if he can beat it faster.
Hmm. You know, I thought I missed an opportunity to like, cause your thing is like very much 682. You know, you let it test. And I thought I really missed an opportunity to just be the 079 guy, but I could still be the 079 guy if I want to.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's like pretty much my favorite one to work with. He's very polite, but we obviously have different ideals. So,
Yeah. He wants to escape and murder people. You just want to test.
oh yeah,
Let's see. Another thing, the iPods 131.
yeah,
We put them on roller skates. Yeah,
really?
someone thought it would be fun. Yeah, we put them on those little four-wheeled roller skates. We just kind of plopped them on there, kind of like. Have you ever seen the video on YouTube of someone putting a turtle on a tech deck,
Yeah.
and then it goes super fast? Yeah. So we did that, and yeah, they just kind of zoomed around. It was kind of fun. Eventually, one hit the stairs, and like it just kind of popped him in the face. So we took them off We took them off the roller skates, but it was fun for a little bit. Um, let's see. Let's see. Someone went to 29. Oh, okay. Sorry, I paused for a second because my laptop made a noise here, and turns out it was just a file downloading. My bad. Let's see what else we got here. Um, Someone went to 294 and they requested a mystery drink, and basically it just gave when you type in mystery drink, it just dispenses a random drink.
Yeah.
So people went in there and typed mystery drink, and some guy got a cup of liquid gold. Some guy got
Huh.
a cup of sparkling water. Some guy got a cup of ethanol. And it was just fun to see. The liquid gold solidified and was sold on the black market for a hefty profit.
The bla- the black market? Not like
Yeah.
anyone else.
Well, I mean,
That's technically stolen gold too. So I sure.
where did the gold come from?
Yeah, exactly. We don't really. I mean, we know that 294 takes things from actually, real people. So
I have
gonna
a
take.
theory about that, and I
What's
want to
up?
run it by you to see if
Hmm.
what you think about this. So the
Sure.
whole gold thing got me thinking.
Hmm.
We are surrounded by computers and technology that have little bits of metal in them, gold, for instance,
Hmm.
that acts as, conductors and blah blah blah, and does, basically our computers contain trace amounts of gold and metals and precious metals.
Oh yeah.
What if you put a computer next to uh 294 and you request a cup of, let's just say, iron, for example, would
Hmm.
it take from the processors in the computer and cause the computer to stop working?
I'd say yes because evidence has shown that a CP294 will take things from nearby rather than from long distance. So yeah, metal from a computer, it will definitely take from that to put into the drink due to unknown means. It will do that. I I
Okay.
I I need to read more of the file. I haven't read much of its file, but I'm just kind of inferring here that it probably will do that. I mean, kind of it's weird. It's a weird SCP, but
It is a weird SCP, but it's one of the more unique ones. I'm just tired of people a lot since it's on floor 2, it's not easy to access. So a lot of times, like, MTF will be patrolling the area, and they'll find like a junior researcher up there just drinking cups of coffee from it,
yeah.
and it's just like, what are you doing? Just go back down. You're wasting time. Um,
Hey,
let's
break time
see.
is not wasted time. All right, as long as they're not overstaying their break.
You make a point, but they're doing this on like company time, just like wasting
Yeah,
time drinking coffee. So
that
like,
is
it's like you're getting paid to work, not paid to drink.
true. True.
I think that's all I have for stories. At least the ones that I could find that were interesting. The rest of it's just like, oh, SCP breach chair or the military or the citizens of Pinewood are getting unruly and stuff like that. It's nothing insane.
I'll never forget the time where actually like Pinewood actually came down to the Foundation, like a few of the sheriffs with a bunch of citizens who were just so pissed off for some reason.
When
I
did this
sat there.
happen?
This happened a while back. I was just standing there, working on something. I was writing something up. Um, I believe it was a test that you or someone else approved, but it's definitely for like might have been for 049, like my rare 049 test, because I don't do a lot of tests on 049, though he's really nice to talk to. But I was just standing there writing it up on my clipboard, and I look up and there's a sheriff staring right at me. And of course, I have a kind of revolver was it? Man had a revolver. I don't know why he had a revolver actually. But obviously revolver in my face. He was telling me he was asking me where the fuck am I? He had like this weird esque accent, and I stared at him and the calmest I've ever been. I was like, well, you seem to be down here in our little laboratory, sir. And there's a bunch of citizens behind him. They had guns too. I don't know where they got the guns, by the way. Like, I guess I thought it was maybe CI must have done something, like, because they're always doing some shit like that.
Yeah.
But like, so ran down, a bunch of guns in my face, and I was like, "What's going on, gentlemen?" And I acted very normal. I acted calmly. I followed them because they were like demanding me to follow them. I was like, "Well, sir, this is just a little laboratory. We work on different chemicals and stuff, and it's kind of dangerous for you guys to be down here without the proper equipment." And it, one of them was threatening to shoot me, and right as they were threatening to shoot me, a squad of MTF walked through the door. Man, that
Now,
was ugh.
I'm guessing they were mowed down.
Oh yes, very brutally. A
Understandable.
few of them were
Understandable.
decapitated.
Oh, geez. I'm
Yeah.
curious if they got into the vents.
Oh, dude, I've been. I remember the site director got really angry at me because I was like, I was kind of disrespecting him a bit, but I was like, dude, we got to do something about those fucking vents. And he was like, let me worry about the vents, Keegan. It's fine. I was
No,
like,
I agree. I agree 100%. I don't know why we have vents that just like go up to surface and like they're
it's like
not guarded.
the fucking Death Star in Star Wars. Why is there that little vent there that just a little like people can just go into or like just go
Exactly. It's
through?
not like it's preventing us from like overheating or something like that. It's just like
Yeah,
a vent.
probably something
By
with.
the way, if anyone's listening to this who's not part of the foundation, there is no vent. We're talking about a
Oh,
Minecraft server.
oh yeah. I love that server.
Yeah,
The
lots
realm
of
is
fun.
great.
Exactly. Um, hmm, well, I guess that's all we really have to talk about today.
Oh yeah.
Keegan, do you have anything fun or interesting you want to tell the nice people listening before I do my ending spiel?
I'm not too sure. I think I pretty much said all that needs to be said for me.
Okay. Well, for those of you listening, I just want to say thank you for making it this far. You could find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Not really on Twitter anymore. I don't really think that was doing anything for the podcast, so I stopped posting the episodes there.
Hmm.
But YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. I believe we're also on Google Podcasts. I don't remember putting us there, but I think the RSS feed just auto puts us there. So you
Hmm.
can go listen there if you want to. You can also support us. There's a support channel on attached to each episode. Buy us pizza. Again, it's not required, and if you do, you have our sincere thanks. However, it's not required, and we're gonna continue doing this just because we like doing the podcast. But yeah, this has been Keegan, and I have been your host, Robert Tomato Peterson. Thank you very much for listening. Have a wonderful day.
Hell yeah.